Today we're talking about something really important. It's a skill that can give you a big, big advantage in your life and your work.
And that skill is communication.
Yes, exactly. How to talk to people.
It sounds simple, but it's not always easy, is it?
No, not at all. Have you ever felt, worried or scared when you have to talk to a big group of people?
I think everyone has felt that way.
Or maybe someone asks you a sudden question, and your mind just goes blank.
Yeah, you forget what to say.
So you have a great idea in your head, but the words don't come out right. You don't know the best way to say it.
And then the moment is gone, that opportunity is lost.
Those are really hard moments.
We wanted to find someone who can help with this, a real expert.
And we found him. His name is Matt Abrahams.
Matt Abrahams. So who is he?
Well, he is a communications expert. That means he's a speaking teacher.
And he teaches at a very famous university, Stanford University.
Yes. For more than 20 years, he has studied how people speak.
And not just how they speak, but why they get stressed when they speak.
Right. And he teaches people how to manage that stress, how to talk well in their jobs.
He has a class called Think Faster, Talk Smarter.
A very popular class. He also wrote a book with the same name.
And his videos online, his free videos, have more than 50 million views.
50 million? That's a huge number. It shows that many, many people want to learn this.
It's a skill everyone needs.
So today, our mission is to look very closely at the 6 main steps he teaches.
6 steps to help you speak with confidence, to speak clearly.
Abraham says it's like building a muscle.
A communication muscle.
And today, we are going to show you how to start building that muscle. Okay, so let's start with the big idea. Abraham says speaking well is a superpower.
A superpower. That's a strong word.
It is. But when you think about it, it kind of makes sense.
What does he mean by that?
Well, look at people who change the world. Leaders, innovators. They have a good job, high position, sure. But they also have something else.
And that is the power to speak well.
Exactly. They can use their words to affect other people, to influence them. Their confidence is powerful.
So if you have a great idea, but you can't explain it well,
then the idea might just, disappear. It has no power.
But if you can speak about it with confidence and clarity, you can make things happen.
That's the superpower.
But here's the problem. Many people think you are just born with this talent.
Right. They see a good speaker and think, oh, they were always good at this, even as a child.
And that's a big mistake. A really big one.
Why?
Because it's just not true. Abraham says this is completely wrong.
So it's not a talent you're born with?
No. He says speaking is like a muscle. We said this before, but it's so important.
A muscle.
Yes. You have to train it. You have to practice.
And when you practice, the muscle gets stronger.
It gets stronger and better. So anyone, and I mean anyone, can become a better speaker.
That's a really hopeful idea. It means you are not stuck. You can change. You can grow.
You can. And this idea really comes from his own life, his own story.
Let's talk about that. Why did he start studying this?
Well, it's interesting. It's because his last name starts with the letter A.
Abrahams, right? It's at the beginning of the alphabet.
So in school, he was always first on the list. He always had to sit in the front of the class.
And that meant?
That meant the teachers always called on him first.
Oh, wow. So he was always put on the spot. as we say.
Exactly. He had to speak a lot, even when he was very young.
And was he good at it? Was he a natural?
No, not at all. He says he was terrified. He was very, very scared.
And he made mistakes.
He made a lot of mistakes. He messed up all the time.
But because he had to do it again and again, every day,
something started to change. He was forced to practice. He was forced to face his fear.
and slowly, he got more comfortable.
Yes. As he got older, speaking in front of people wasn't scary anymore. It became normal for him.
So his fear turned into a skill because of repetition, because of practice.
Exactly. It's the perfect example of building that muscle.
Okay, so then he's at Stanford University, he's teaching. What happens next?
Well, another professor came to him with a big problem.
A problem with the students.
Yes. And these were the smartest students in the world. Really brilliant people.
But they had a weakness, a big weakness.
When they were put on the spot, when a professor asked them a sudden question, a cold call,
What happened?
they couldn't speak. Their minds went completely blank.
Even though they knew the answer.
They knew the answer. The information was in their brain, but they couldn't get it out. They couldn't form the words.
Wow. So they were very smart, but they could not communicate their ideas well under pressure.
Right. And the professor knew this was a huge problem for their future.
So he asked Abrahams for help.
He said, "Can you create a course? Can you teach these smart people how to talk about their ideas in a good way?"
And that's how his famous course started.
Yes. Think Faster, Talk Smarter was born from that need. It was created to solve a real problem for very smart people.
Okay, so now we know why this is so important. Let's get into the 6 steps.
The first 3 steps are all about your mindset, how you think.
Before you can learn the techniques, you have to work on your mind.
That's right, because the biggest thing that stops us is stress, anxiety.
Abrahams calls it the anxiety monster.
It's a good name for it because it feels like a monster, right? It feels big and scary.
And it stops us. It stops us from being our best.
He says there are 2 types of this stress.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first is stress before. This is the worry that starts early, maybe days or even weeks before you have to give a presentation.
It's that voice in your head that says, what if I forget everything? What if I look stupid?
Exactly. That kind of worry.
And the second type?
The second is stress during. This is the panic that happens in the moment when you're actually speaking.
Your heart is racing, your hands are shaking.
And your mind goes blank. That's stress during.
So we have 2 problems to solve. Worry before and panic during.
Yes. And Abraham says there are 2 ways to control this monster.
First, he says you have to tame the signs of stress.
The signs? What does that mean?
The things that other people can see or that you can feel, like sweating, a shaky voice, a fast heartbeat.
Ah, I see. And those signs make you feel even more stressed.
Exactly. It's a circle. You feel your heart beat fast, so you get more scared, so your heart beats even faster.
Okay, so we tame the signs. What's the other way?
We have to tame the causes of stress, the reasons why we feel stressed.
Like the thought, I have to be perfect, 100% perfect.
Yes, that thought is a big cause of stress. We'll talk more about that later.
So let's start with the signs. What can we do right now, in the moment, when we feel that panic?
He gives some very simple actions, things you can do immediately.
Okay, I'm ready.
The number 1 thing is breathing.
Breathing.
But not just any breathing. long, deep breaths from your belly.
Mm-hmm.
It's called diaphragmatic breathing.
Okay, belly breaths.
This is a science fact. It is the fastest way to lower your heart rate and make you feel calm in the moment.
So just breathe in.
Slowly.
Oh,
And then breathe out.
yeah.
Even more slowly.
In and out. Slowly. I can feel that helping already.
It works. What's another one?
Water or gum?
Water or gum. How does that help?
Well, when you're stressed, your mouth gets very dry.
Oh.
A dry mouth is a sign of panic. So if you drink some water or chew some gum, it stops your mouth from being dry. It helps you feel less panicked.
That is so simple.
Mm.
Another one is about temperature.
Temperature.
Yes. Hold something cool in your hand, like a cold bottle of water.
And this cools your body down?
It lowers your body temperature just a little bit,
Mm.
and that helps stop the stress feeling.
Wow. These are like little tricks for your body.
They are, and they work. He also talks about getting your body ready.
Body prep.
Yes. Before you have to speak, don't just sit still and worry. Move around.
Like take a walk.
Take a walk around the building. Do a little bit of physical activity. This gets your body and your mind ready.
It uses up some of that nervous energy.
Exactly. And finally, a mental trick. A way to prepare your mind.
What is it?
Abraham's counts backward from 100.
Okay.
But not just 100, 99, 98.
Mm-hmm.
He counts in odd steps, like by threes.
So 197, 94?
Or by 17s, 183.
Whoa, that's hard. I'd have to really think about that.
And that's the point. It makes your mind focus on the numbers, on the task.
So your mind is not focused on the worry.
Exactly. It stops the worry. It puts your mind on something else.
Okay, so those are tricks for the signs of stress, the physical feelings.
Yes. Now let's talk about the cause of stress, the reason for it.
And that brings us to step 2.
I love the name of this step. It's maximize mediocrity.
Maximize mediocrity. It sounds a little strange.
It does. It means try to be okay.
Just okay. Not great, not perfect.
No, that's the whole point. The need to be perfect is what causes so much stress.
He talks about the difference between amateurs and professionals.
Amateurs are beginners.
Right. And amateurs think they have to be 100% perfect. No mistakes.
You see this when people try to record a video, right? They say one word wrong and they stop. Oh, I have to start again.
Yes. They restart over and over and over.
But professionals, they're different.
Professionals make mistakes.
All the time.
But they don't stop. They just keep going.
They make a mistake and they quickly continue. The audience might not even notice.
That's a really important difference.
We need a reality check here. In a normal conversation with your friends, are you perfect?
No, of course not. I say, I stop and start.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
It's normal. So when you are learning to speak or give a presentation, it is impossible to be perfect.
So the goal should not be perfection.
The goal is to deliver the message, to share your idea.
It is okay to be just.
Okay?
If you make a small mistake, it's not a big deal. Just keep going.
And when you believe that, when you really accept that, a lot of the stress just goes away. You give yourself permission to be human. Okay, that makes so much sense. And it connects to the next step, step 3.
Which is all about how it grows.
This goes back to that idea we talked about at the start, the muscle idea.
We need to have a growth mindset.
A growth mindset. What is that? In simple words.
It's the belief that your skills can change. They can get better.
It's like if you have some cards to play now, some skills,
Yeah.
you can learn how to play them better. And you can get new cards.
Yes. Your ability can grow. It can improve with effort and practice.
And what's the other kind of mindset?
The opposite is a fixed mindset.
Fixed. Like it cannot change.
That's the belief that your skills are permanent. They are fixed. You are either good at something or you are bad at it, and you can't change it.
So if you have a fixed mindset and you make a mistake speaking,
You think, see, I'm a bad speaker. I can't do this.
and you give up.
But with a growth mindset, you think, okay, that didn't go well. What can I learn? How can I do better next time?
Good speakers are not built in one day.
No, they get better slowly. They practice, they grow.
So if you are listening and you feel like you are not creative, or you get stressed and can't speak,
Or if someone laughed at you one time when you were speaking.
you need to know that this happened to many great speakers too.
The difference is they didn't stop.
They kept going.
They put themselves in that speaking situation again and again and again.
And each time, the muscle got a little bit stronger.
That is the growth mindset in action. Okay, so those first 3 steps are about our minds. Taming anxiety, being okay with okay, and believing we can grow.
Now we're ready for the next 3 steps. These are the techniques, the tool.
And step 4 is a bit surprising. It's don't judge, listen.
Wait, I thought we were learning how to speak. Now we have to listen.
To be a good speaker, you must first be a good listener. It's very, very important.
Why?
You need to understand your audience, the people who are listening to you. What do they need? What do they want to know?
You can't just talk about what you want to talk about.
No, you have to connect with them. And you can only do that if you listen first. Abrahams breaks listening into 3 parts.
Pace, space, and grace.
Let's start with pace. That means speed.
When we're stressed, we do everything fast, we talk fast, we listen fast.
And when you listen fast, you don't really hear everything. You're already thinking about what you're going to say next.
So the key is to slow down.
Slow down, listen carefully. And when you speak, use little pauses. A short stop.
I sometimes worry that a pause will make me look like I forgot what to say.
A pause does the opposite. It makes you look confident. It gives you a moment to think.
And it gives the audience a moment to understand what you just said.
Exactly. So slow your pace.
Okay, what's next?
Space.
This has 2 meanings. First, there's physical space.
The room you are in.
Yes. Choosing a good place to talk to someone. Standing in a way that helps you connect with the group.
But there's a more important meaning of space.
Mental space. Room to think.
How do you create mental space? Especially when someone asks you a surprise question. There's a great tool for this. It's called paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing. That means you say something back, but in your own words.
Yes. So, someone asks you a question. Before you answer, you repeat what they asked in a different way.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Someone asks, what is our plan for what to do if the weather gets very cold?
Okay.
You can say, so what you're asking is about our plan for the cold weather. Is that right?
Ah, I see what you did.
What did that do? First, it showed that I was listening. Second, it made sure I understood the question.
And third, it gave you time to think.
It bought me a few seconds.
Okay.
And in those few seconds, my brain can start to organize the answer. It's a fantastic tool.
Pace, space, and the last one is grace.
Grace means understanding why a person is talking to you. What is their real goal, their real need?
And he tells a story about this.
Yes, a colleague gave a speech and asked him for feedback.
And Abraham's, being the expert, gave him lots of technical advice. Change your voice here, fix this slide.
But his colleague looked sad. He didn't look happy to get the feedback.
And Abraham's realized his mistake.
His colleague didn't want solutions. He wanted comfort. He just wanted to hear, you did a good job. It was tough, but you did it.
He needed grace.
So we must listen for the real need. Sometimes people want help. Sometimes they just want to feel heard.
Okay, this is probably the part everyone has been waiting for. Step 5.
How to speak when you have no time to prepare.
Impromptu speaking.
This is where it gets really practical. The problem, he says, is that our brain has to do two very hard things at the same time.
One is what to say, the information, the content.
And the second is how to say it, the order, the structure.
And our brain gets overloaded trying to do both at once, so it just stops.
It freezes. So what's the solution?
The solution is to have a system, a structure that is ready before you speak.
If the structure's already there, then your brain only has to do one job.
Just find the content. Just find the information to put into the structure.
It makes the job so much easier for your brain.
And he has a key structure that is very simple and very powerful.
What? So what? Now what?
Let's break that down. First, what?
What is where you say the topic, the problem, the main idea. You say it right now.
The air is cold. That is the what.
Simple and clear. Next is, so what?
This is the most important part, maybe. It's why this topic matters.
Why is it important? What does it mean for me or for us?
So, the air is cold.
So what? Because it is cold, I might get sick.
Ah, that's why it's important. I see.
And the last part is, now what?
This is the action. What should we do next? What is the next step?
The air is cold.
So what? I might get sick.
Now what? I should wear warm clothes when I go outside.
What? So what? Now what? That is a full, clear message.
It's amazing. Let's try another one, a business one. Imagine your boss asks, how is the new project?
Okay, what? The new project is behind schedule. We are 2 weeks late.
So what? Because we are late, we might lose the client. This is a very important client.
Now what? We should have a meeting this afternoon to make a new plan.
Perfect. It's organized, it's clear, it sounds professional.
And you didn't need any time to prepare. You just used the structure.
Using a structure like this makes your message easy to follow and easy to understand.
And that brings us to the last step. Step 6. This one is simple but very important.
It's focus.
Be here now. Be present.
Focus on your words. Focus on the moment. Focus on your audience.
When you are stressed, your mind wants to fly away.
Yeah.
It wants to worry about the past or the future.
Focus brings it back to right now.
And there are 3 parts to this focus. The first is precision.
Being exact. Being very clear about your goal.
Before you speak, Abraham says to ask yourself 3 questions.
Question 1. What do I want the audience to know, Debbie Ward? This is the information.
Question 2. What do I want the audience to feel? This is the emotion. Happy, worried, excited.
And question 3. What do I want the audience to do next? This is the action.
When you answer these 3 questions, know, feel, do it, makes your message so much better. You choose better words. You speak in a better way.
The second part of focus is relevance.
Does what you are saying matter to this audience? Does it connect with them?
An example he gives is, if your audience is 50 or 60 years old,
You probably should not talk about TikTok memes for young people.
it's not relevant to them. They won't understand or care.
You have to choose words and topics that your audience can relate to, that make sense in their world.
And the last part of focus is accessibility and conciseness.
Those are big words. Let's make them simple.
Accessibility means make it easy to understand. Speak simply. Don't use strange or complex words that people don't know.
And conciseness means keep it short. Be brief.
People are busy. They don't want to listen to extra words that are not important.
Say what you need to say clearly and shortly.
A great technique for this is something he calls BUF.
BUF. Bottom up front.
It means say the main point, the most important idea, right at the beginning.
Don't wait till the end. Say it first.
If the audience has questions, they can ask you for more details later, but they get the main idea right away.
So that's focus. Be precise, be relevant, and be clear and short.
So there we have it, the 6 steps. It's a full system for speaking better.
Let's do a quick review. The 6 key steps.
Okay. Step 1, tame the anxiety monster.
Step 2, maximize mediocrity. Be okay, not perfect.
Step 3, embrace the growth mindset. Remember, it's a muscle.
Step 4, listen well. Pace, space, and grace.
Step 5, use a structure like what, so what, now what.
And step 6, focus. Be precise, relevant, and simple.
It's a lot of information, but each step is very practical.
Yes, and we want to remind you that a summary is good, but it's not the same as reading the whole book.
If you want to go deeper, Matt Abrahams' book, Think Faster, Talk Smarter, is a great place to start.
The most important thing we learned today is that good speakers are made, not born.
It is a skill you can learn. It's a muscle you can build.
And that brings us to our final thought for you, the listener.
If this skill really is a muscle, what are you going to do to train it?
You can't get stronger just by thinking about it. You have to do something.
So what small, safe situation can you find tomorrow to practice?
Maybe you can ask a question in a large meeting. Maybe you can give a short opinion to your team.
It doesn't have to be big. Just something small to start strengthening that speaking muscle.
Find that moment and then go practice.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
We hope these ideas help you speak with more confidence and more clarity. Until next time.